Hello, my name is Mitra Patterson, Human Resource student at City University, and this is my extremely lame attempt at drawing, so please be nice. I figured this would be a fun way to talk about professional emails, and now first and foremost, now did technology ruin communication? No, technology didn't ruin communications per se, but it did make it quite a bit faster. So fast as we even have our own little emojis to basically describe how we feel without really even saying anything. We could just send a little picture and people kind of know what we're saying. Well, we'd hope they would know. This kind of communication is called intrapersonal communication. Now, intrapersonal, what is that? As I write it on the board, what is that? Long story short, this is basically communication that's through email. This is a communication that we do through text messaging, which, to be honest, this is our main form of communication. Who even talks on the phone these days? Who even answers our phones these days? So this is like why it's really important because most of our communication is going to be through something that is particularly very, very fast. As my little, stick figures of marathon people, and they're going across the finish line, so they're running really, really fast. We want fast communication, but we also want it to be clear and precise because we can't read minds. We just can't. As much as we try, we can't. So we can't read minds, but we can actually get some understandings about common misunderstandings. And one of the common misunderstandings is people writing in all caps. And now this is symbolizing something that people are actually yelling. And when people are yelling, they tend to yell back. So there's people yelling back. So that way we avoid all caps in emails, professional emails. If you want to yell at your mom in an email, be my guest. But this is probably what's going to be going on in her head, is you're going to be yelling back and forth. Now you want to make sure that you're setting a good tone, because the tone of the email is going to be how you're actually responded to. These are music notes. Those are my very, very sad, sad music notes. I hope my choir teacher doesn't receive this. So basically, you always want to be aware of your tone, but then it's not just also the language you use, but it's also the punctuation. This is very important because you want to make sure that whatever tone you're trying to get off is actually going to be coming across. Maybe he's mad, maybe he's sad, you never really know, so it's always best maybe use more professional punctuation, commas, periods. You don't need to really add too many exclamation points. So this is also a given. Just don't swear. There's no need to swear in a professional email. This should go without saying, but you'd be surprised. There are people that do it, so don't. So moving on. Now, you always want to just make sure that you're keeping tone in mind and keeping how it's going to be perceived by the other person. Now, email is such a great way to communicate. Why is it such a great way to communicate? Well, most people have emails. It's going to be very rare that you find anyone not having an email, and if you go into an interview and they say, "What's your email?" and you say you don't have one, they might look at you kind of funny because you can email from your bedroom, you can email from your desk, you can even email when you're in Starbucks drinking a hot beverage. Yes, that's my little stick figure drinking a nice big cup of coffee. Emails are very important in this day and age, and how you start it is how you set the tone. So, dear John, hello, John, hi, John. These are all great ways to really start an email. Sets the really correct tone. Greetings, John. It just shows a directive, shows who you're talking about, and it gets right to the point. Or you can just put John, comma. That works as well. You want to avoid the very, very casual kind of greetings. Like the what's up, the hey, or the my personal favorite, hey. Just avoid those. They're not very professional and they don't set the right tone. So, one of the most important things with the email is that you want to really stick to the point. You do not want to give anyone your life story in a personal email. It is important to use email for what its intended purpose is. It's effective, fast communication. So, you just want to make sure that you're constantly sticking to the point, keeping it very, very condensed, and that you're not giving a play by play about everything that happened in the break room. So these are my horrible drawings of trying to draw a stick to you guys. I do apologize. And everything that you put in email has to really actually add purpose to it. So now You don't want to put any kind of drama in it. So if you were late one day, don't need to tell your whole life story about how your husband broke your heart and now you just don't know how you're going to get on, and leave all that out. That's not important. Heartbroken is not something you put in a business email. So we are going to save our drama for the llama. That was a llama. So we want to be very clear and precise, condense our problems, concerns, make sure that it flows nicely and it's not too long, make a list if we have to, condense the paragraph. What's really important is how we end also an email. No goodbyes, it just doesn't sound very well. End it with respectfully. You do Mitra Patterson, or you can do just Mitra if you're on a first name basis. Thank you or thanks, both will work. Make sure you reread your emails. You want to catch those grammatical errors. You want to make sure that your tone is coming off well. You also want to make sure that you're sending it to the right person, because in professionalism, you want to be able to communicate effectively through email. You want to be able to impress these coworkers, these ones that wear really weird looking bow ties. Who would have thought that bow ties were so difficult to draw? Well, I want to thank you. You've made it to the end. Thanks for enduring my very difficult to read handwriting and horrible drawings. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the quarter. And remember, email for life.